Welcome to another episode of Unleashing You. These episodes are designed to help you see the world differently and open up worlds of possibility. At Unleash You, we believe that knowledge is power, and we love sharing both. I am one of those people. You probably know the type. My keys are in the exact same spot every day. I have a process and a way that I like to do those repetitive things over and over again. Every time I come home, my key ends up in the same spot. There are some rare occasions where my wife borrows my car and the keys do not end up in the exact same spot. Words are said. Granted, I do have a healthy fear of my wife, so those words are said in my head, but nonetheless, inside my mind, I have really read her the riot act. If I run to the grocery store, maybe I just need to pick up one or two items. I make a list every single time. My wife jokes with me and says, "Hey, old man, you can't remember one or two things?" I rely on calendars and Google Assistant to remind me of those routine tasks like go get an oil change, you have a bill due soon, and don't forget about your upcoming dentist appointment. I do all of these things because life is chaotic. And it only seems to be getting more and more chaotic as time goes on. But there is a flip side to this coin. We all, each and every one of us, have the same 24 hours in our day. The same 24 hours as a president, as kings and queens, and as CEOs of Fortune 100 companies. Everyone around us has the same 24 hours in a day to address chaos. So how then do we adapt and overcome these things that are outside of our control? How do we address chaos? A small secret? We control those things that are within our control. Now, this may seem like a very obvious answer, but how many of us actually put things into place to enhance and ensure that we can control the things that we can control? Chaos is going to happen. We just have to accept that. We will never be 100% in control of our 24 hours. But we cannot react to chaos if our cup is already overflowing with chaos. If our plate is already full, how do we add more to it? By me keeping my keys in the same place over and over again, I reduce the drag of remembering where they are. I reduce the drag of trying to find them if I'm running late. It is one less piece of chaos that I have to deal with. I have now freed up a little bit of space on my plate. I can now react to and overcome a little bit of chaos like running late because my keys are in the same spot. I have controlled that thing that I can control. Many of us are looking for a silver bullet, where one single idea or one single change will have significant impact to controlling our day. But the real secret to freeing up our time rests in these smaller and seemingly insignificant activities. It is super cliche, but there is a question that goes, how do you eat an elephant? The answer is one bite at a time. The idea being that there is this impossible task that exists. In order to accomplish the impossible task, we break it down into one step at a time. The way that we add control to our lives is indeed by controlling these small and somewhat seemingly insignificant variables. Every little action that I can offload to automation like auto bill pay or reminders about dentist appointments, I don't have to carry those things in my head anymore. It frees space up for me to address the unknown chaos that is bound to happen. There are going to be things that you try, like keeping your keys in the same space, that don't work for you, and that's fine. But freeing space up on our plate, we can now control more chaos. So find those things that work for you. The alternative, we can continue to let the day control us, which sounds like the definition of insanity. We've tried it. It's chaotic. We end up exhausted. We end up accomplishing very little. We go to bed and wake up the next morning to do the same thing. And then the next day, and the next day. It's exhausting, and indeed the path to futility and ultimately failure. I am telling you, you will not be 100% in control of your day. But every time you wrangle a few more minutes of control, it means you'll have more time available to address those unknown events. Take some time today. Think about small changes you can make to bring pockets of control back into your day. An idea? Start with documentation. Write stuff down. Write it down in a platform that crosses your devices, computers, phones, tablets. Download a password manager. Help wrangle those passwords. Keep them from just floating in and out of your mind. Believe me, offloading, remembering those details will go a long way to clearing off your plate. Find those small ways to wrestle some control back. Free yourself up to deal with the chaos that will eventually come. Take care.